The Strait of Hormuz looked calm that morning. Cargo ships moved through the narrow waterway, sunlight reflecting across the sea, while the USS Abraham Lincoln maintained its patrol route. Inside the carrier, thousands of sailors followed routine operations without knowing the next hour would become one of the most dangerous naval confrontations imaginable. Then the alarms began. Radar officers detected dozens of hostile contacts racing toward the strike group from multiple directions. Iranian drones flooded the screens almost instantly. Combat systems activated across the fleet. FA. 18 fighters launched from the Lincoln while destroyers locked targets with missile interceptors. What first appeared to be another regional drone attack quickly transformed into something far more serious. For several intense minutes, American defenses worked almost perfectly. Interceptors destroyed incoming drones one after another. CIWS systems roared across the decks while pilots hunted targets overhead. Officers inside the Combat Information Center believed the situation was under control. Then, everything changed. A radar operator aboard an escort destroyer identified a massive object emerging from the southern shipping lanes. At first, nobody believed the reading, but seconds later, the image became clear. A giant aircraft carrier had been hiding among commercial tanker traffic, moving silently through the region undetected. It was China's Fujian. The carrier had reportedly concealed itself behind civilian shipping for hours, waiting for the Iranian drone strike to distract the American fleet. Moments after being discovered, aircraft launched from its deck. Stealth fighters, bombers, and surveillance aircraft filled the air while dozens of escort vessels appeared behind the carrier group. The battle instantly became a two-front engagement. Captain Sarah Mitchell ordered immediate defensive maneuvers as fighter squadrons split into separate combat roles. Some pilots continued intercepting Iranian drones to the north, while others turned south to confront the newly launched Chinese aircraft. Tension spread across the fleet as sailors realized they were facing simultaneous attacks from two coordinated forces. What happened next unfolded at terrifying speed. American F-35 fighters accelerated toward incoming Chinese stealth aircraft in what became a high-intensity, beyond-visual range confrontation. Radar systems struggled to track targets while missile warnings echoed through cockpits. Pilots relied on sensor fusion and split-second decisions to survive. Missiles streaked across the sky. Several Chinese fighters were reportedly destroyed during the opening exchange, but American pilots also faced heavy resistance. Explosions lit the clouds above the sea as aircraft maneuvered violently to avoid incoming fire. One damaged jet disappeared from radar after taking a direct missile hit, marking the first American air loss of the battle. Meanwhile, the Lincoln strike group itself remained under pressure. Iranian drones still approached from the north, while Chinese bombers prepared anti-ship missile attacks from the south. Escort destroyers divided their fire between multiple threats as radar operators attempted to coordinate every engagement simultaneously. The scale of the attack pushed the fleet into non-stop combat operations. Below the surface, another American asset moved quietly into position. The USS Mississippi, a Virginia-class submarine, tracked the Chinese carrier from underwater while awaiting authorization to strike. Once approval arrived, torpedoes launched toward the Fujian at high speed. Defensive systems attempted interception, but several weapons reportedly impacted critical sections of the carrier. The strike severely damaged steering and launch operations, limiting the Fujian's ability to continue air operations. Even so, aircraft already airborne remained dangerous. Minutes later, Chinese bombers launched anti-ship missiles directly at the USS Abraham Lincoln. The carrier's defenses intercepted many incoming weapons, but not all of them. Explosions tore across portions of the ship, damaging sections of the flight deck and triggering fires aboard the vessel. Damage control crews rushed through smoke-filled corridors while medics treated injured sailors across multiple compartments. Despite the hits, the carrier stayed operational. Additional American reinforcements were already moving toward the battle zone. Aircraft from another strike group entered the fight and immediately joined attacks against hostile bombers and escort ships. Combined air power shifted momentum rapidly. Several attacking aircraft were destroyed while damaged vessels began retreating from the area. After nearly an hour of non-stop combat, the situation finally stabilized. Reports from the battlefield describe massive losses across the attacking forces. Drone swarms had been eliminated, numerous aircraft destroyed, and several escort vessels disabled. The damaged Fujian remained afloat but unable to continue major flight operations. The cost, however, was severe. American sailors and pilots had been killed during the engagement, while others suffered serious injuries defending the carrier group. Fires burned aboard damaged sections of the Lincoln as exhausted crews continued emergency repairs long after the shooting slowed. Military leaders later described the battle as one of the most dangerous naval confrontations in recent memory. Analysts focused heavily on the alleged use of civilian shipping lanes for concealment, the speed of coordinated drone warfare, and the risks of multi-front carrier combat in narrow waterways like Hormuz. For the sailors who survived it, though, the day would never simply be remembered as strategy or headlines. It was the morning the radar screens exploded with warnings, the moment a hidden carrier emerged from the shadows, and the hour thousands of sailors fought to keep their fleet alive in one of the world's most dangerous waterways. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on notifications for more military stories and naval conflict breakdowns every week.